That's your name, right?
What the hell you know my name for? Yeah, that's my name. So what?
Well, we need to talk about...
Hello everyone, this is Michael from Straight from Motown.
I don't get why you think this is so funny. We need to talk about something.
What's up everyone, this is Michael from Straight from Motown here with Lucas, and this is the first episode of We Need to Talk About.
I'm all up for what we're doing here, but I don't know this Lucas guy. Who's Lucas?
My bad. This is We Need to Talk About guy.
Yeah, I'm the We Need to Talk About guy. Whenever there's some news that some people just don't want to talk about, or they just hide in their sad little lives, I come around and give them the harsh truth of that we need to talk about the bad stuff. And this stuff is very, very bad because, you know, it involves the wrestling for these belts over here.
Why do you have that belt specifically? This isn't what this is about. This isn't what this episode is about.
What is this episode about?
The Universal Championship.
The Universal Championship. Oh, good. You have this title right here. They can make the Universal Championship right there.
Episode 1 is about Brock Lesnar and the Universal Championship. Sort of the positives and negatives to his title reign, which includes 6 title defenses.
Only 6 title defenses. Hasn't been champion for like 52 years.
You don't have to stay, mister. We need to talk about the entire episode.
You never say we don't need to in anything. The thing is about the show, we need to talk about. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll stop. All right, okay. We're gonna talk about Brock Lesnar. let's do this.
So this series we like to include sort of different kind of ways to talk about these specific topics. So in this one, we kind of pointed out positives and negatives to the title reign and what the Universal Championship has basically done for the company in general.
And basically what the Universal Championship has done to the company has, well, plenty of its lows, mostly its lows, but has some of its highs, but then back to its lows. So we are going to go through the positives and the negatives, and through these 6, is it 6 positive, 6 negative? Or?
Actually, 5 positives and 5 negatives that we both came up with before the video. So we are going to jump straight into the negatives, and they actually are going to hopefully show up on the bottom right there. The first negative is it is killing the WWE Championship, and it made it nearly a relevant mid-card title.
Actually, reason to have this belt on the table for this video, because the WWE Championship was the most important title for so many years, and since this jam belt...
Since the 60s is when the actual WWE, or the 60s or 70s, I want to say, that
there.
it's been around for nearly 6 or 7 decades, and it's hard to see another belt kind of just pass it just out of nowhere, too.
Especially because now that the Universal Championship is supposedly more important because it's on the more important show in Monday Night Raw and it's on the most important superstar in Brock Lesnar, it makes the WWE Championship and the current WWE Champion AJ Styles just seem less weak because every time it's a co-branded pay-per-view, the WWE Championship is never ever the main event. And that is a huge shame because mostly the WWE Championship matches have been better than the Universal Championship matches this year, so sorry.
Absolutely. The next topic we have is Monday Night Raw has no champion to fight for the universe. What we want in a champion is a hero. What we want is someone who can bring us the strength that we want to see in them. And with Brock Lesnar at the helm and the 6 title defenses, and he's never on Raw, it just doesn't seem like there's a proper champion there.
Yeah, and also because like Raw is filled with so
Hold that
many
thought,
talented
and a
people.
champion that we can actually believe in.
Yeah,
That's what I wanted to send it off on.
yeah. But like with Raw, it has a bunch of talented people too. That's just so shameful that they're being just they're just on a show where they have no world championship to compete for ever, because it's either when Lesnar decides to show up, and when Lesnar does decide to show up, it's got to be Roman Reigns. So, like, we can never get a real, like, chance to have any other superstar be champion, while there's superstars on Raw like Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, who deserve world championships, but Brock Lesnar not showing up and only defending the title when he wants to is really...
Let's not forget about
the company.
Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah, especially Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman especially has been screwed over the most from this.
But we will get to that. Next topic we have is it puts Punk's proper pro wrestling title reign to absolute shame. I'm not going to say shit because, like, it still exists and it's still there and they still acknowledge that it exists. It's just like he defended it all year round, 24/7. House shows, Raws, SmackDowns, pay-per-views. He did it all, and that's what we enjoyed about CM Punk as a champion. He was a fighting champion, and that's why he stayed champion for so long. It was believable.
And plus, like, and when you look at such a memorable reign like CM Punk's, he defended it every pay-per-view, started the reign as face and ended it as a heel, which is always incredible. And the reason they were able to do that is because he was champion for a year and 2 months, which was an incredible thing to witness. And we were all so happy that he was getting this opportunity. And now with Brock Lesnar, he has surpassed CM Punk's 434-day title reign. When Lesnar has only defended his title 6 times on pay-per-view and a few times at house shows, and that is nothing compared to the work that Punk gave to that WWE title reign, which is definitely a huge shame, because it's not only now the Universal Championship overshadowing the WWE Championship as a whole, it is now overpassed CM Punk's title reign, which has overshadowed that as well. So it's just, for the most part, just taking some amazing things that WWE have done in the past and then turning it into hot poop. Poop.
Poop.
Poop.
Poop.
3 hours later.
All right, so the next topic we have is Lesnar does not care. This year. He doesn't care. Clearly, he does not care. And in kayfabe and out of kayfabe, he does not care. In really kayfabe, he's reading magazines and asking Paul Heyman for a baked potato backstage. Out of kayfabe, he's like, I'm going to USC and I'm going to win the heavyweight title. So hopefully,
and I'm going to get my baked freaking potato.
And he's going to get his baked potato.
Don't forget the baked potato.
Don't forget that. That's important.
Lesnar
you
loves his potatoes.
You get the starch, you get the vitamins, you get the good stuff from the potato, you know. Yeah. Bring it. And and out of kayfabe, Lesnar, like I said, has UFC to worry about in the future, and hopefully that works out well for him. So we don't have to see his face anymore. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, because and Lesnar, like you said, he really does not care. It is showed when he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Nakamura's even admitted to this in an interview pretty recently. It's actually pretty interesting. Look up that stuff, because it is a pretty interesting interview. And he's done this with WWE because he clearly doesn't care about being the Universal Champion, because if he did, he'd be defending it every single show. And while, like, it may be like, oh, since he's Brock Lesnar, he ended the Undertaker streak, he's really tough to beat, even if he does defend it against someone, Lesnar's going to win, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? At least it's showing that he's giving a crap about the business and having awesome matches left, right, and center like CM Punk did and people like AJ Styles are currently doing. And we're not getting that from Lesnar at all, especially in 2018. Not one of his Universal Championship matches this year have been good. None of them. The Triple Threat was the best one.
And it wasn't even that good. It's a shame. It's a huge shame, because Lesnar is capable of pulling off some amazing matches,
which we'll get to later, but he's been a part of some absolutely incredible matches, and he just can't show it enough, but we just don't know why. and he hasn't given us
like
that
I said,
reason either.
he has other things to do. He has other things to conquer.
Which is why he should not be Universal Champ.
It's that properly ends our negative side of this spectrum. So we
Yeah.
are going to move over into the positive side
How?
with a few bulletins, a few brackets that we have. And the first one I'm going to start out with was 2017 was Brock's year of great matches. We had
Like
him
you
and
said.
Samoa Joe. We had him at the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam.
That was amazing.
Him and Braun Strowman were not that good. But then we got Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles for the first time. And that is one of the best matches of the decade.
And one of Brock
Fight.
Lesnar's best matches, without a question. And his best match since his match with CM Punk at SummerSlam.
Yep.
That match blew me away. And his match with Samoa Joe even blew me away. The Fatal 4-Way blew me away. He had
Even him and
his
Goldberg
match
at
with Goldberg
WrestleMania.
at WrestleMania was awesome. Like, Lesnar had so many great matches in 2017. I think that's why throughout 2017 we weren't like as negative about Brock Lesnar's
Yep.
Universal Championship reign, because whenever the title was defended, it was always an incredible match. But this year
And
we
that
haven't gotten
actually
that.
gets to our next bulletin, which is very few matches in the year of 2017 meant the title felt like a prize, and it actually felt like people were fighting for something, like we were talking about earlier in the negatives. And 2017 seemed to bring that a little bit more, and nowadays it just doesn't feel like it. But back in 2017, Brock Lesnar definitely had a prize worth fighting for.
And the fact that Lesnar wasn't there, it was like, yeah, it was a little irritating to us while while it was happening, but then by the time it came to the Universal Championship match, whoever was fighting him needed to win the Universal Championship so we could be sure to have an active Universal Champion. That's why we were hoping for Samoa Joe to beat Lesnar. That's why we were so hoping for Braun Strowman to beat Brock Lesnar, so we could have a Universal Champion that is active on Monday Night Raw and on the main roster like every single week. And that's what was kind of cool about it. And that's what made the matches more intense. And that's kind of what made Brock Lesnar a big deal. And he felt like a big deal. Now he just feels like a big deal who we just don't care about and just want to go away.
So the next point we have is it absolutely gives legitimate heat. Every single time the crowd is either like Brock Lesnar's mentioned by Kurt Angle nowadays on Raw, and even back then, people would boo. People
Yeah,
would genuinely boo, which is really good because we now have heat towards a champion that we want gone.
And when Kurt Angle threatened to strip Brock Lesnar of the Universal Championship, that might have been the biggest pop of the year since besides like Rey Mysterio and Stone Cold coming back earlier this year. Like, the crowd erupted when they heard that, and it's for good reason. It's not just kiddies being all excited about Brock Lesnar losing. It's us finally accepting the fact that yes, Brock Lesnar can no longer be Universal Champion soon, which is what we want.
The next one we have is I don't really know if Lucas agrees with me too much on this, but I put this as a positive because I know a lot of fans out there really enjoy things like this, and that is a long-term title reign. Brock Lesnar has held the Universal Championship for now 500 days, I think.
Around there.
Something like that, 480, 490. But, I mean, I love long title reigns. I really do. And even if sometimes he does not show up, sometimes he is not there present to actually defend the belt, to make it look good, I still feel as if having a long title reign, like, it just justifies who you are. And I believe Brock Lesnar. And like I said before, I really hope he does well in UFC. And that's what brings us to our last one. Once it's over, Brock Lesnar will depart.
Yep, that's the big upside. And like you said, and what you did say earlier, how it is a long title reign, I do like long title reigns, but like it just doesn't have the feeling for me of a long title reign because we just haven't seen enough from Lesnar in the ring to really get the feeling of a long title reign. Like with CM Punk, we had the series of matches with Daniel Bryan. We had the
triple threat.
We had the feud with Jericho. We then had the feud with Bryan, which led to the feud with Cena, which then got to the feud with Ryback, and then got to the feud with The Rock. Like, it kept going through and through. And with Lesnar, it's, this just happened when he decided to show up.
He's only fought Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, basically. Like Samoa Joe and Kane.
Samoa Joe and Kane.
and AJ, but that wasn't a
not
title match.
But like you said, after this, Lesnar is going to be going to the UFC. More than likely, we've been saying this for a year now, but I think it's finally the time for Lesnar to head off to UFC and be done with WWE because he's paid his dues.
Yes,
as Universal Champion.
Long-term paid his dues. He was in main events since 2001 and 2002, so he's just, it's time. It's time for him to
yeah, it's really time for
bye-bye.
Lesnar to finally just depart from WWE. And because Lesnar's too big for WWE.
In a way, yes, but no. But that's what makes...
He's so big and unbeatable. Like, it doesn't seem like
I
anyone's a legit threat to him.
know. But that's what plays into the long-term title reign because he's held the belt for so long, no one has beaten him for it. And I just like the booking of a dominant champion.
Yeah, I do.
And Paul Heyman builds him up very well in his promos. I love... The promos from Paul Heyman at the beginning of the year towards WrestleMania against Roman, some of the best stuff this year said on the mic. I swear, it's so good to watch those promos.
Because Paul Heyman, every time like there's a Lesnar match that we're not excited for, we're like, fuck this Lesnar match. Like, I don't want to watch this. And then Paul Heyman cuts a promo and we're like, all right, I'm excited now. From Paul Heyman alone.
Yep.
The dude's
because
a
he
genius.
knows how to build up a dominant long-term champion.
All right, so that was the end of We Need to Talk About.
And thank you so much for watching. Tell us your opinion on Brock Lesnar in the comments below. I'm taking this hat off because I'm way too silly saying this catch-off stuff. But don't forget to like this video and subscribe and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/straightfrommotown. I'm Lucas from Straight From Motown.
And I am Michael.
And we'll see you guys later.
Catch you later.